and welcome to the Card Nerd. I am Chuck.
What do I look like? I got the hoo-ha's or something?
Hello and welcome to the Nerd Card. I'm Phil.
I'm Chuck.
And we are Daymanoids now. We're not not the night people. At least I was night people. We're talking about Rick and Morty Season 6, Episode 4.
Yes.
And a very interesting episode yet again. Night people versus Daymanoids. And
they made a 80s horror movie.
They made an 80s horror movie. That's exactly what they made. An 80s zombie flick.
They threw in a bunch of different horror tropes.
Definitely. Up to and including the end credits. It definitely had that feel. I mean, it opens with a quote from T.S. Eliot, which I went, that can't be real.
Yeah, that's real.
Sure enough, that's real. He said something about the hoo-ha's, and Jerry mentions later in the episode, I've got the hoo-ha's.
Yeah.
Jerry is very Jerry throughout this episode as well.
He is, and even Night Jerry is very Jerry, we find.
Very Jerry. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
For me, this season of Rick and Morty has been just hilarious. It's more good. More of the good that they do.
It's much more like season 4 and 3, right? Season 4 to me is the gold standard for Rick and Morty.
See, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah, and so season 5, that's why, again, I know we said it a few times, that's why season 5 was harder for us to get into. More rewatchings of season 5 have made it a lot better.
Oh, and I love it.
And I still love it, but season 6 is closer to the feel of season 4.
Sure.
More canonical. Better continuity in the stories. Now, this was one that was the first kind of departure from that canonical flow so far.
Sure, it was more of a standalone episode.
Yeah.
This episode could have been plopped in any season, and we would have taken it and said, "Yeah, that's great." I think the one thing it did canonically, for me at least, is kind of embed Summer more in her character.
Yeah,
it speaks a lot that she's the one in charge when it's the night people. Versus, Rick being, of course, the one in charge when it's Daymanoids.
Well, it also implies that there's a part of Summer that might not be Summer, that maybe got there somewhere.
Sure.
In an adventure, or who knows. They could do a lot of things with the night Summer that says she's always been in your granddaughter's brain and I will always be there.
For sure. And she's shown flashes of it over the seasons,
Sure.
Being Rick's right hand when they take over all the Ultron bots and whatever.
But she's
not
failed.
Ultron, but
it's Morty. It's Morty.
It's Morty.
Summer
of course.
Sometimes with Summer and Rick adventures, and I mean, heck, there's been an occasional Jerry with Rick adventure.
That's true.
And of course, Beth has her own thing. Beth is basically just a female Rick, especially with their clone out there in the universe doing Rick things.
Right, and she's becoming
universe.
more and more of that as well.
Every Rick, there's a Morty. I mean, that's just, it's Rick and Morty.
It's Rick and Morty, yeah. Till the end of time. If it takes 100 seasons.
Morty. Exactly.
I do like to see that out of Summer. She's got that darkness in her, it's cool to see.
Since season 3, I'm going to say they've really worked on developing Summer's character and evolving Summer's character in particular to be not just, like I just gave the diatribe about Rick and Morty, but Rick and Morty and sometimes Summer.
Sure.
Is really what it's worked into. Summer's a much bigger part than she was. In season 1, she was just kind of like, the sister. Season 2, mostly, the sister.
Yeah.
Season 3, she started to become more of a impactful part of the show and its continuity and flow.
And has continued to be so.
And this episode furthered that, as you say, a lot.
Absolutely. And, maybe it's all building to they're finally going to give us that scene from the end of the credits. The opening credits, that is.
Oh, with the monster and Cthulhu that was Summer holding baby Cthulhu, and you've never seen it. It's been every opening credit scene.
But never in an episode. Maybe that's what they're building towards.
I think they're never going to give us that one. I think that's just the eternal tease.
It could very well be.
That one.
And I really enjoyed the episode. I
liked it a lot more upon multiple viewings. Actually, the first time I watched it, I didn't like it that much. And I've watched it 4 times now. And I've liked it more every time. I think there's a lot of things that you have to watch. This is one of those episodes where you have to watch to catch more and more and more. Like when they're burning the DVDs.
Sure. Yeah.
And they're burning everything that is a a day DVD and keeping the night when they're being directed by the Dalek people. And
my God. Yeah, we went this far and didn't talk about the Dalek robot in there.
The Dalek and the Woody Allen robot.
Everyone get behind
I'm wearing my Doctor Who hoodie and everything.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the Dalek robot. It's so very Dalek. Obviously, Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon are big fans of Doctor Who because it gets
influenced because it's referenced a lot.
It's referenced a lot
more than you think. If you don't watch Doctor Who, you're not going to pick up on them.
You're not going to catch them, right? But it's in a lot of episodes.
It's in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck, you got anything else?
No, I think we Doctor Who'd this motherfucker, so I think we're good.
We Doctor Who'd this motherfucker. With that, we'll go ahead and let you know, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff. We are out there. Remember, likes are free. You can like the video for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Let us know in the comments what you think. And with that, we will say, what's on your nerd card?